Hi, welcome to Roy's Property Diaries. Now, in today's episode, I'm not actually going to go out and about. I'm working from home. The weather's pretty miserable, so I've decided to chill inside instead. Anyway, right, to get started, what I'd like to do today, it just reminded me when I'm working here on my laptop, is to share some information with you as to why maybe it's good for you to start investing in property if you already haven't started. And there are a number of things that you should bear in mind whenever you want to invest in property. And fundamentally, I started many years ago, and my dream and passion was to build my own house. And that went on for many years. I didn't do that probably till about 8 years after I started thinking about it. And I suppose I was fortunate enough because my dad was involved in property. He was a civil engineer, worked for big, huge companies. And even as a lad, I used to go with him on the weekends to work on site. And I enjoyed it. I really did. Hands-on. As I got older, I even got to drive machinery, big machinery and so on, excavators. So my passion for me was to build my house. And this is here, you'll see some images here of that process a good few years ago now. But that passion grew, and it was in fact while I was building my first house, I owned a number of businesses, and they were quite successful. But I was able to take time off to build my own house, concentrate on that. As I was doing it, my passion for property was growing more and more. And before I knew it, I was really in on the deep end. I bought land, I was building houses on there to sell. I was flipping properties. I was even renting a block of flats and so on. So as time progressed, my passion grew. But then in 2008, the property market crashed and everything changed literally overnight. But thankfully, I survived through all that and learned a lot of lessons. But moving on now, so all these years later, the advice I would give most of you who are watching this is this. If you're looking to invest in property or you haven't already done so, you must have a goal in mind, okay? So what is your goal? What are you aiming to do? Are you aiming maybe to be in a position whereby you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 houses that you'd let out? And by doing so, you create a passive income, which is great. That's a good strategy to have. Or is it maybe that you're looking to buy properties, increase their value, renovate them, and then sell them? Another great, strategy. But my advice is to make sure you have one, if not two strategies in mind, okay? Whenever you buy a property, it's never a good idea to have just one strategy. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you buy a property to flip it, okay, and for some reason you can't sell it, you need to have a second exit strategy whereby maybe you can rent it and the figures still work, okay? Now, what do you mean by that, Roy? Well, look, I've got an investment calculator, for example, whereby if there's a property I'm interested in buying, I'll input all the information into this calculator, all of the costs, elements, and so on, and that'll tell me whether or not it's going to be a good deal or bad deal. So number one really is to have a goal, okay, and focus on that goal. Number two is to really have a strategy. What is your strategy? What passion, what route do you want to take down when you're investing in property? What is your property journey going to concentrate on, okay? And thirdly, which is where a lot of people fail, is not knowing how much work is needed in a property that you're thinking of buying, or how much it's even going to cost to do that work. And this is where most people go wrong, because they underestimate how much the work is going to cost. It ends up costing them double, sometimes even more, and then there's no money to be made. What do people then do? They blame it on the property industry not being as good as what people claim. But it's only as good as the things you know, isn't it? And even though you may learn virtually everything you possibly think you can learn about property, things change. I mean, look at us now, we're in 2020, whatever. Things are changing, the market's changing, we're maybe going into recession, coming out of recession. So we have to change with the market. Interest rates have been low for such a long time, they're no longer low. So there's a new norm that we have to adapt to. And as in any business, you need to adapt with the changes, because if you don't, unfortunately, you become a victim of it. Okay. Now, my property diary is all about my day-to-day journey, what I do, how I do it. and how I can maybe help you copy what I do. So that's what this is all about. If I've got, you know, free tools that I can share with you, or share links with you so that you can improve your property journey, maybe increase your investment potential whenever you're looking to buy a property, then that's all good, because I'm here to help you. Now, the other very important thing is you must always buy below market value a property. I say always, that maybe actually that isn't quite true, because sometimes you can buy a property that's on the market relatively cheap in any case compared to what maybe it should be. Okay, so if you buy that property, you can add value to it, and hey presto, your quid's in. Now, what do I mean about buying below market value? Well, let's say, for example, the property you're looking to buy is worth 100,000, but you can buy it for 50,000, or you make an offer for 50,000 instead of 100,000, and the offer gets accepted. Just think, you're already £50,000 quids in. Then maybe you can spend money on renovating it to increase its value further. So let's say you spend £20,000, but then the value of the property is now £150,000. You're quids in, aren't you? You're £80,000 already quids in on making a profit by maybe flipping that property, or maybe by even then renting it and letting its value grow over time. So these are all the big things that you need to think about. But anyway, my property diaries, that's what it's all about. You'll see the ins and outs, ups and downs, do's and don'ts, the good times, the bad times, and so on and so on. Even despite we're going through some difficult times for a lot of people at the moment, if you do this right from day one, you will succeed. Anyway, that's enough of me for today. I'm going to get on with some work. I'm working from home, as I say. So if you like this video, please give us a like. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Until then, ciao for now.